I always get the first wave.
Pretty much, it brought me to tears. Like the wave was so good.
That's the biggest drop I've ever taken in my life.
And so right there, I told myself I needed to just relax and stay calm. That I'm stronger than this.
Speaking of Brock, I know he was such a such a madman, and I know he rest in peace, brother. I know he spent a lot of time with you, not only in the water but up in the mountains. He loved his mountain biking as well. But I want to go back to that 1990 Eddie because I rewatched some of it today, and I was saying that what Jaws has done with performance, being such a long wave and the barrel ride and even with the turns, there's been a really big jump in progression with big waves and what you can do. Waimea, in all fairness, is such an amazing wave, but it's sort of the drop and you sort of go into the channel and it doesn't very rarely offer a barrel. But it seemed like in 1990, you got a incredible barrel. I saw Michael Ho get one. The one that I remember Brock's telling a story, I'd love to hear your side of this, where you and him on his barrel that he got, which was hands down the best barrel ever at Waimea, and he just fell out when he got spat out. But he was saying that he goes, him and my good friend, me and my good friend Tony Moniz were pushing each other deeper and deeper and deeper. And then all of a sudden, when he took off, he just knifed under that thing and just pulled into that. It's one of the most famous waves at Waimea in one of the most famous eddies, I think, in 1990.
Yeah, that heat of the moment, it was like, no, man, this is not. We're greedy. We want the wave. It's like, no, not too much of a friendly. Yeah, you have your meeting, pre-meeting before you paddle out. It's a gentleman's rule. No, when you're out there, never. I want to get the best one. I want the inside. And one of the only ways to get barreled at Waimea, like a lot of spots, is from behind. So Brock and I was pushing, and I knew that just looking at it. It's coming off that chip shot over here, and then the flat section and the bowl. That's where you needed to try and come under and pull in. That particular wave, Brock and I push and shoving. We were the deepest in that heat, always pushing over there and kind of staying underneath. I had him, on that wave. I had my boy Brock. I'm so happy I gave it to him that can share this. It motivated me. So I was here on the inside, if you can see that. He was on top of me, right? And just begging. He was like, "Bruh, Tone, we're paddling up. We're sliding." He goes, "I got this, Ra. I got this." And I was giggling. I was like, oh, my foot was literally enough to push his nose. Just like, no, man. Just the Kalihi kid in me. I'm like, oh. At the last second, I just went, go for it. Go for it. So I let him go. Came back out. He just got the ride of his life. He made my adrenaline go through the ceiling, and I just looked at him, and he was such a character, kind of a dick. He said, "Got the ride of my life, man!" Like cocky Brock, "Got the ride of my life." Oh yeah, blah blah blah. And I'm all, fuck. I go, "You fucker, you're so lucky." And everyone's just okay. He's like looking at me and just going, ha ha ha. I said, I'm going to go deeper and bigger. And, and I had the opportunity to just pack one, and I packed it. Single fin. It's a board that I designed with a good friend of ours, Ron Roush. My experience out there was like, okay, I'm looking at all these. We're like, okay, let's make some boards for the Eddie. Ron's motivated. Let's do some boards. I was writing a lot of Rossins before I even got my Toporos. And I was like, oh, okay. Longboard blank, lower entry. I need to get in early. I need to knife one. And we had the single fin that just got me in waves out there. I was like really happy. But the problem was no drive on the bottom, because it had so much roll on the bottom that the entry was good. Knifing the board was super good. But once I got down here, it was like,
Slow
handbrake.
down.
It was like the train trying to stop. And I knew that, but I was like, nah, this is kind of it. I'm gonna ride this. This is the board I'm gonna ride. Like if I got out more on the, not behind the peak, and if I could ride it, you know, and get in. My whole deal was I need to get in. I need to get in under. I need to something gonna let me go. Thrusters just was around, right? I mean, the thrusters wasn't around, but I didn't change yet. I was like, I love the feeling of just free falling with the single. I had a hard time changing for Waimea. And
Yeah.
then I finally, I think after that year, okay, bring it on, you know.